What is going on, everybody? It's the France, and we're here for a Monday Night Raw review for Monday, February 18, 2019. The Elimination Chamber is in the books, and before, like 3 hours before Monday Night Raw, some news broke out that Aleister Black, Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, and Ricochet were all at Monday Night Raw backstage, and we were wondering what was going on. Of all places for WWE to bring these guys in, why would you come to the Cajun Dome, Lafayette, Louisiana, to debut these guys? It was quite clear this entire night is, I swear it's just Vince McMahon coming in. It's like, let's bring these guys in to a terrible town like this. Let's get them out there. Watch, they won't get cheered, and I'm gonna be fucking right. I'm gonna be right that that NXT is nothing but a feeder system. It's not where the stars are at. The stars are on Monday Night Raw, and we're just gonna prove it tonight. Basically, that's what happened. You had Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano teaming up to take on the Revival. Crowd was dead. You had Ricochet come out to help Finn Balor take on Bobby Lashley and Leo Rush, which that team's not broken up, and the crowd was completely fucking dead. You had Aleister Black versus Elias, which, by the way, Elias is nothing but a waste of roster space now. I don't know what the fuck. And to top it all off, we had a rematch tonight for the Raw Women's Championship from a match that we saw last night between Ronda Rousey and Ruby Riott. And guess what? That match lasted way longer than it did last night and should have been the match we got last night. Why you wasted Ronda Rousey and Ruby Riott last night and then gave them the main event of the show tonight is beyond me. It's just WWE says, oh, we're going to change things up. We're going to make things new and feel fresh. We're going to make WWE feel different. Whatever you wanted to do to make WWE feel different, you fucking failed. This show was shit. Not because of Ricochet, Aleister Black, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, because of WWE's poor booking and decided to bring these four guys up on a night that they were in the Cajun Dome, where unless you're Stone Cold, The Rock, Brock Lesnar, John Cena, Seth Rollins, Ronda Rousey, or Becky Lynch, you're not going to fucking get a reaction. This was a terrible idea. It's beyond me to why they brought these guys up tonight. They're going to be in Columbus for Fastlane, or not in Cleveland for Fastlane. I don't know where they're going to be the next night. Probably in a better town than where they are tonight. Why you brought these four gentlemen up tonight makes no sense whatsoever. Some people are wondering if this is just going to be a showcase of NXT. I don't think it is. I think WWE is bringing these four guys up, even though Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa needs to be the main event of NXT TakeOver in New York this coming April, 2 nights before WrestleMania. That match needs to happen then, so Johnny Gargano can win the NXT Championship, hold that title till the next TakeOver, lose it to Adam Cole, and we go on from there. But this just tells me that this is most likely them bringing these guys up. I hope not. Vince McMahon coming out and probably being walking us back. Well, that one is unexpected. You went to a shitty town like Lafayette, Louisiana. You went to a place that is dead. I swear The Walking Dead has more reaction than these guys got tonight. It was just piss poor booking. A bad idea to bring these four guys up. This is the main event of your card. The only 2 men out, the 4 of the 6 men from that halftime heat match will debut tonight. Why? Because no idea why. No idea whatsoever. This was a terrible idea. Like I said, we also had Ronda Rousey versus Ruby Riott in a rematch from last night's show, which I still don't know why that happened last night for 1:40, and then they went about 10-15 minutes tonight in a really good match. I'm just saying. Drew McIntyre squashed Dean Ambrose. Lucha House Party beat Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. Let's see what else we had here. We had DIY vs. Revival was a decent match. It was a good Raw match. It wasn't like the NXT TakeOver Toronto match, which was a 2 out of 3 falls back when the Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa were actually DIY. We also had, let me think here. I think that was about it. Yeah, I believe that was about it. Yeah, Elias took on Aleister Black in a okay match. So yeah, that was about it for Monday Night Raw. They did also talk about the D-Generation X being inducted into the Hall of Fame. We will go into detail on this episode of Unscripted this Saturday, what Triple H said about the group being put in, and his comments on what he said back on the Stone Cold podcast back in, 2015, when he made those remarks of why Chano wasn't in the Hall of Fame yet. We will go over all that this coming Saturday, so make sure to check that out. Triple H comes to the ring and talks about how exciting this time of the year is as he sees the WrestleMania 35 sign hanging above the air. He talks about the Elimination Chamber and gives props to a few superstars for their performances, the new tag team champions Sasha Banks and Bayley, the new WWE Intercontinental Champion Finn Balor, and Kofi Kingston. Fans start chanting for Kofi. If Kofi Kingston would have walked out tonight and challenged Finn Balor for the Intercontinental title, I think the crowd would have went batshit crazy. Just saying. He also names Becky Lynch, who didn't let a 60-day suspension keep her from getting her hands on Charlotte Flair. Triple H says corporately he has to say Becky Lynch will be arrested and prosecuted if she does that again. She did not show up tonight, I'm just telling you right now. She was not on this show smartly. The next time we see Becky is next week. I already put this out there. You see a nice size present, something taller than Becky. It's not going to be her size, but you have a nice tall present for Ric Flair in the ring. Him or his daughter open it, whatever. Out comes Becky Lynch, wrecks the whole place, sends everyone fleeing. Grabs Ric Flair, puts him in the armor, and we go from there. Triple H says, but personally, he thinks that was pretty damn cool. He also names DX going into the Hall of Fame for 2019 class. DX gets a pop, including mentions of China. He also mentioned the other members of the group, X-Pac, Road Dogg, Billy Gunn, WWE Hall of Fame Shawn Michaels, and himself. Before we continue on, I gotta say it is a great thing to see that China will be in the Hall of Fame. Take it or leave it. She's in the Hall of Fame. I honestly think that the only way she would ever get into the Hall of Fame is in a DX placement. It's just great. Every time we see her on Triple H now, it's it's COO and WWE Hall of Famer Triple H. So that's gonna get kind of interesting and hard to get used to. Triple H says he's about to pour gasoline on the fire that is WrestleMania 35 season. He brings up how he has other duties within running WWE NXT brand. He's proud to introduce 4 superstars who will be making their debuts tonight on Raw. He brought up Ricochet first. The video package comes up. Cole praises the high flyer. Triple H then mentions Aleister Black as Cole goes over Black while a video package plays. Cole welcomes Black to the main roster, indicating some of these superstars will be called up. Yes, I believe Aleister Black is on the main roster from here on out. Triple H introduced a quick video package of North American Champion Johnny Gargano and Johnny Wrestling. Triple H does the same for NXT Champion Tommaso Ciampa. Triple H says the future is NXT and we will see all of them tonight. But now, as hell is about to break loose, he points to a bunch of tables set up near the stage and says a table match is about to kick off with Baron Corbin versus Braun Strowman. Yay? Nobody wanted to see it last night. What makes you think people want to see it tonight? I don't know if the Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, Baron Corbin faction is still going on because there was no sign of that tonight at all. You have Lio Rush still with Bobby Lashley, which I think is positive, is better than what they came up with last night. For the simple fact is Bobby Lashley needs Lio Rush because he does not talk well on his own. Let's see here. Don't really care about this match. Strowman wins. Who cares? Let's see. Corbin keeps control, leaps off an apron, and Strowman on the floor. Strowman grabs part of the steel steps and knocks Corbin out of the air with them. Strowman with another shot. Strowman charges with the steel chair, knocks Corbin back again. Strowman brings it back in the ring. Get these hands. Chance start. Strowman runs into a shot from Corbin, another big right hand. Corbin counters and runs back into the ring, but Strowman immediately catches him, scoops him up, running power slam through a table for the win. Nobody cares. After the bell, Strowman clutches his ribs, stands tall as his music hits. We go to a replay and we see Corbin down on the floor while we can cover as Braun Strowman exits the ring. Cole announces NXT champion Tommaso Ciampa and North American champion Johnny Gargano will face the Revival tonight. Also, Ruby Riott versus Women's Champion Ronda Rousey would be in the main event as a rematch from last night's Elimination Chamber. There will be a look at Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar as we go over this tonight. Strowman makes his way onto the stage to go to the back, but Paul Heyman comes out. Heyman says Strowman had a great match, but he can go to the back now. Strowman grabs Heyman Heyman yells out that Braun is hurting him. Fans trying for Braun to put Heyman through a table. Strowman finally lets go of Heyman. He heads to the back. Heyman takes the mic and starts walking to the ramp. But he's having trouble speaking. Heyman needs a minute, and then they go to commercial. So they did this twice. They did it right here with Paul Heyman. They did first half of this entire story between Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins, and they did it for the second half. This is one of the biggest problems of a build for Brock Lesnar matches, is that you don't have him coming to the arena on a weekly basis or a semi-weekly basis to build up this match. The build to this match is going to be awful for the simple fact that it is Brock Lesnar, and we won't see him till we get to the About to Go Home show, I believe, till WrestleMania. Heyman says he can't say he's surprised by Braun Strowman's actions. He says everyone should be jealous of his client's action because his client is the most dominant in WWE and MMA. Yeah, I'm pretty sure when the last time he had a fight that wasn't caught with illegal drugs, he got knocked out in about, 10 seconds? WWE Universal Champion Brock Lesnar. Heyman points to the big screen, and we get a video package with the advocate talking about his client, mentioning the upcoming WrestleMania 35 match with Seth Rollins. Heyman says, I hear Seth Rollins has no hope this time. The video goes on previewing the match with Heyman praising Lesnar. We return to Heyman in the ring. He goes on a burn it down chant, tries to get going, which this crowd, you fucking sucked. You had 4 great talents on this show tonight, and you fucking sucked. You sucked the life out of this entire show. This show should have been a refresh for WWE. Should have been something great. But you wasted 4 main guys who should be big stars by the end of this year on the main roster on Fayetteville, Louisiana. Give me a break. Heyman says there's not enough fire to burn down Suplex City. The music hits, and out comes new Intercontinental Champion Finn Balor to interrupt. Balor makes his entrance, and we go to commercial break. Heyman is gone. In back from break, we see Finn Balor capture the Intercontinental title last night. Balor said it's been a while since he's held one of these titles, and boy, does it feel good. Yeah, your last championship reign lasted, 22 hours, and you actually made it out of Monday Night Raw still champion. He mentioned growing up watching the greats like Hall of Famer Razor Ramon, Shawn Michaels, and Ric Flair. He talked about the all-time greats, and I figured he talked about former Intercontinental champions. Ric Flair didn't win the Intercontinental title till 2008, 2006, something like that, 2007, 2008, 2009, one of those years. Said it's been a dream to hold this title, and he's proud to continue the legacy of our Intercontinental Champion. Balor says he plans on defending this title and gets interrupted by Lio Rush. Rush says Balor doesn't deserve to be Intercontinental Champion. Lashley deserves to be Intercontinental Champion. Lashley attacks Balor from behind in the ring, and Lashley and Balor unload on Balor as he stomps away while he's down. Rush enters the ring and helps beat down Balor in the corner. Again, they go on it, and Balor hits a big splash on him from the top. Out comes Ricochet to a big pop. Little pop. It wasn't a big pop. It was a little pop. Some people knew who Ricochet was. Half the crowd didn't. Ricochet runs down and Rush leaps out but misses. Ricochet nails Lashley from the apron and hits a moonsault to Rush on the floor. Ricochet goes back to Lashley. The ring is cleared, and Ricochet stands tall with Balor in the ring. Looking out at Rush and Lashley on the floor, we go to commercial break. Some people said this was a waste of a debut for Ricochet. I'm going to say no, it wasn't. It's just a waste of a type of match. I would have loved to see a one-on-one match with maybe a Lio Rush, maybe Finn Balor. Maybe Finn Balor does a open challenge, and out comes Ricochet, and we get a match between them. Doesn't have a clear finish because Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush would have came out, beat these two down. Bobby Lashley poses with Lio Rush, and that would have been the end of the segment instead of this six-man tag, this tag team match, which wasn't necessary. This match was pretty decent. It was pretty much to show what Ricochet could do. This was just paint by numbers, really. Ricochet did show off a good bit. This match comes down to Lashley scoops Balor for a powerbomb, but Balor slides out. Balor drops Lashley and hits a double stomp up to the chest. Fans pop is, like I said, small pop. The pops for any of these guys tonight was very small. Pops as Ricochet waits for a tag and finally gets in. Ricochet unloads on Rush as he also comes in. Ricochet with a neckbreaker and shoulder in the corner. Ricochet springboards in with a big dropkick to Rush. Ricochet also takes Lashley down. Ricochet runs the ropes, leaps over the top, taking down Rush on the floor. Lashley's back. Lashley backs Ricochet up to the floor. Ricochet and Balor team up to take Lashley down on the outside with a Ricochet ran to the barricade, did a backflip, having backflipped over Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley ended up eating the drop kick into the corner into the barricade by Finn Balor. Ricochet springboards and takes Rush down with a springboard uppercut. Goes up top, hits the 630, and for 1, 2, 3, Ricochet and Finn Balor are your winners. Decent debut for him. After the match, Rush and Balor stand tall in the ring as Ricochet's music hits. We go to some replays. Ricochet and Balor continue their celebration. Balor exits the ring as Ricochet looks around as the crowd starts taking it in. Some of the crowd was into this match. Some of the crowd was up for Ricochet and Finn Balor. Once Balor left, some of the crowd was still there, but you could tell this crowd was not as enthused as what they should have been. The whole crowd should have been up on their feet. Like, last time when you heard the crowd chanting, "You deserve it," and it was like deafening for the few minutes they did for Bayley and Sasha Banks when they won the tag team titles. I'm not saying they should have been chanting "You deserve it," but that's how loud the crowd should have been for Ricochet. This was, again, a disappointing debut for all four of these men tonight. It was absolutely the wrong town to bring these guys to. Philadelphia, New York, LA, Chicago, those 4 towns right there, Toronto, any of those 5 towns right there would have been perfect for bringing these guys in because you would have had the best pop. This isn't the night after WrestleMania. This isn't the night after the Royal Rumble, which are the 2 biggest Raws of the year. Why did you bring these guys out tonight? Why didn't you bring these guys out the night after the Royal Rumble? They were in 3 of them were in the Royal Rumble. 2 of them were. Aleister Black and Johnny Gargano were in the Royal Rumble. Why didn't you have these guys make their debut? Ricochet was in the back because his girlfriend was in the Women's Royal Rumble, Casey Catanzaro. He was at the Royal Rumble. Why didn't you bring these guys out the night after? Why did you wait 3 weeks and bring these guys out the night after the Elimination Chamber? What the fuck? So Natalya was backstage talking to Triple H when Drew McIntyre walks in and interrupts. Triple H asks her for a minute with Drew. Drew mentioned Triple H rolling out the red carpet for the NXT Superstars. Drew says he made it clear to Triple H when he returned that he would do whatever it takes to prove himself. Drew says he wants Seth Rollins. He wants the Universal Champion Brock Lesnar. Drew tells Triple H to give him Rollins tonight so he can prove himself. Dean Ambrose walks up from behind and he said he's not doing anything. What about me? Dean Ambrose has no fucks. He's leaving in 2 months. Smacks Drew in the face hard, then walks off. Triple H asks Drew if he still wants Rollins or if he wants to change that to Ambrose. Drew tells Triple H to change the damn match. And Drew walks off. Back from break, the Lucha House comes back and out. Like the Lucha House Party come out. And we get Vince McMahon's announcement from last week when he suspended Becky Lynch. They go all over that again. Says, reinforces that the main event, the interference backfires. Yeah, they say, of course they go, but whatever. Then we have Lucha House Party versus Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. Who really cares? Zack Ryder versus Kurt Hawkins lose again because Kurt Hawkins gets pinned. He had Hawkins with another close roll-up on Dorado. Hawkins plants Dorado in the middle of the ring for another close 2 count. Metalik runs in and gets a big set back to the floor. Dorado with a big drop kick to Hawkins. Hawkins comes right back and nails Dorado. Then knocks Metalik off the apron. This leads to Dorado taking advantage and getting the pin on Hawkins. Who cares? Until we see where this is going, they're still in the trial and tribulations part. These guys are losing and losing. Eventually, I just have a feeling this is going to end the way Gabriel Kidd did in More Culture Pro Wrestling. He kept losing and losing and losing, and then he was put into a triple threat title match for their Internet Championship. He rolled out Cody Rhodes, who was the champion at the time, 1, 2, 3, and became the Internet Champion, winning his first match. That's why I figure we're going to go here. It'll be the Revival. Hawkins and Ryder will be just put in there for whatever reason, and a 3rd team or 4th team. And the winner of the match wins the tag team titles at WrestleMania. And Hawkins and Ryder will get Hawkins will get his first win since he's been back on WrestleMania for the tag team titles, and there you go. That's where they're going with this. That's where I feel they're going. Charlie Caruso brought out heavy machinery for some reason. They talked a little bit about stakes and weights and everything. Out came Lacey Evans. She did her little walk that she did last night. Apparently, Lacey Evans is in line for a big push, and this is just Vince McMahon's way of letting you know, hey, she's here. She does a little trot. She stands in front, right? She comes, walks back, and gets behind that heavy machinery. So they decide they're going to do the same thing. Waste of time, in my opinion. Why the fuck was this even a segment? Back from break, and we see Chad Gable and Bobby Roode approach Tommaso Ciampa and Gargano. Roode and Gable congratulate DIY on their main roster debuts. They also wonder why it's DIY getting the shots at the Revival when they should be. Gable mentions beating them in NXT. Gable says this is Raw, not NXT, and we start at the bottom. Not everyone, Gable. I'm sorry. Ciampa and Gargano don't seem interested in Gable. What Gable has to say. Gargano mentions how they come to take over the main roster after running NXT for 2 years. Revival make walk up and interrupt, mentioning how they didn't come up from the bottom. They did come up from the bottom. Ciampa interrupts them and says they're here to make an impression at the Revival's expense. Ciampa wishes them good luck. The Revival downplay their pressure and heads off to the ring, saying they will set DIY out there. This was a good match. There's two disappointments, and I'll talk about the second one in a second. The first one is we didn't get the classic DIY theme, but I understand why we didn't, because it wouldn't fit Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano how they are. It just would have been, I think a lot of people, not in the arena, but a lot of people who watch it probably would have popped a little bit if they would have heard DIY's theme just for a moment. This is a good match. I wish they could have got a little bit longer. They started at 9:38. I was like, I hope they could have taken this to 10 o'clock. They went to about 9:50, so, semantics. The match comes to an end when Dawson looks to put Gargano away, trying to suplex him out of the ring where the others are. Gargano catches him with a kick. Gargano ends up leveling Dawson again. Ciampa tags in and hits the super kick. Flying knee combo on Dawson, barely connecting with it. The meet him in the middle was hit. Ciampa covers Dawson for the 1, 2, 3. Ciampa and Gargano DIY win. My biggest problem with this is that the Revival just won the Tag Team Championships last week. They are Tag Team Champions for 7 days. And you have them lose clean. I was sitting here watching this match, and I'm like, WWE booked themselves in a corner in this match. I would have rather seen Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa take on Chad Gable and Bobby Roode, for the simple fact is that would have protected the fact that you had tag team champions who just won their titles. Why would you have them lose now? Clean. I would have had them face Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. Probably would have still had a good match, and then have them beat Chad Gable and Bobby Roode, and just moved on from there. Charlie Caruso is backstage with Ricochet and Finn Balor. Balor said he had his big night last night, but tonight is all about this man, Ricochet. Balor steps away, and Ricochet talks to Charlie about living his dream and achieving his goals, saying it feels better than anything he could imagine. Ricochet says he could go on for days, but he thinks if you think we've seen the last of him, we're just seeing the beginning. Ricochet says he will prove to the world why there is one and only Ricochet. Back from break, and we get a pre-recorded video of Kevin Owens at a movie theater with his son, Owen. Owens talks about training for his return and spending time with his family and watching WWE TV. He says he's never been more focused, never been more hungrier. His son brings him popcorn and soda, and Owens asks him what the change is, yada, yada, yada. Owens says during his time off, they've been reminding why he fights. We should trust him when he says he's ready to fight again. We go to the ring, and comes the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. This was a waste of time. Sasha Banks and Bayley, they get a pop and head to the ring as they talk about their big win at the Elimination Chamber. Fans chant, "You deserve it," as they take the mic. Bayley says she's feeling it tonight, but last night was emotional for them both. Bayley can't believe they are standing here with the titles. Banks says this feels like a dream, but it isn't. They really did it. Banks talks about how crazy to see how far they come from NXT to making history tonight. They go on about not being afraid, about having the same dreams, visions, and goals. Banks says they put their hearts and souls into the women's division, and they will face anyone, anywhere, be it Raw, SmackDown, or NXT. Whoa, there's something for you. When when it came to the tag team titles coming out, a lot of talk was like Raw, SmackDown, and NXT will be represented in this. Honestly, I would love a Kairi Sane and Io Shirai versus Sasha Banks and Bayley match for WrestleMania. That's just my thought. Out comes the worst promos in the world, Tamina and Nia Jax. Jax mocks the champions and tells them to stop with the crying. Jax congratulates them and says they're cute in their matching outfits, but they don't get it. They go on talking trash and they walk to the ring. Jax points out how Banks always loses her titles on her first defense. Tamina should never talk again. She can't cut a promo to save her fucking life. She sends a warning saying they got lucky last night, but their luck is about to run out. Jax and Tamina rush the ring, but Banks and Bayley fight them off, not letting them in. Banks grabs Jax and applies a Banks statement under the bottom rope, but Tamina pulls her to safety. Jax and Tamina retreat up the ramp as Bayley's music hits. Banks and Bayley stand tall with their titles in the ring. This is going to be the first defense for the tag team titles at Fastlane. What a waste of a segment. Actually, in my opinion, what a waste of a segment. Absolutely, waste of a segment. I got to update this and get tag team titles on those two, so I got to figure that one out. Drew McIntyre versus Dean Ambrose. Speaking of a waste of our time, Drew McIntyre versus Dean Ambrose. Bell rings, Drew drops Dean with the Classico kiss. Match comes to an end. Ambrose brings it back in the ring, nails an inverted net breaker. Ambrose goes to the top rope, but it has to roll through as Drew moves. Drew McIntyre comes right back, drops Dean with a Claymore kick. Drew waits from the corner as Dean slowly gets up, nails another Claymore for the 1-2-3. Drew McIntyre beats Dean Ambrose. Why the fuck did Dean Ambrose beat EC3 last week? Why the fuck did Dean Ambrose, who's on his way out, should be losing every single fucking match between now and the time his contract's up? Why the fuck did Dean Ambrose beat EC3 last week? Why? I don't fucking get it. Why would you have EC3 come up, beat Dean Ambrose in a fluke win, only to lose in a 50-50 booking if you're going to have Drew McIntyre squash Dean Ambrose? What the fuck? I don't get it. Somebody in the comment section try to explain to me why Dean Ambrose would beat EC3 last week only to get squashed tonight. It made no sense. We get another video package of Paul Heyman and narrating, talking about how dominant Universal Champion Brock Lesnar is going into WrestleMania. And that leads to Seth Rollins in the back asking about what we just saw. Rollins says, you can call Paul Heyman a lot of things, but he's not a liar. Seth, I think we can backtrack that one a little bit because we know that to be a good promoter, you have to be a good liar. If you want to be a good promoter in the wrestling business, especially back when Paul Heyman was a promoter, you have to be a good liar. And he is. Seth says, but he's not walking into WrestleMania 35 with a death wish. He's accepting his fate. Rollins goes on to say Lesnar's reign of terror is done regarding his own fate. Rollins says if he leaves on his own feet or on a stretcher, he promises he's leaving WrestleMania with the Universal title. Dean Ambrose walks up behind him and Rollins asks, can you help him with something? Ambrose asks Rollins, where were you out there? Rollins asks Ambrose and looks like, are you completely lost your mind? Ambrose looks a bit confused, shrugs his shoulders and goes, and walks off. So Dean Ambrose turned babyface, like that. Dean Ambrose is a lunatic again, I guess. So everything that happened between October and last week means absolutely nothing. Everything that they did with him as a heel means nothing. God, I can't wait till he's gone. It could be something else. Elias is in the ring. We go to commercial, and I immediately like, this is what we're getting with Aleister Black. You had Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush versus Finn Balor and Ricochet, DIY versus The Revival, and Aleister Black faces Elias. I thought it was going to be Elias was going to get interrupted by him. Aleister Black was going to come out, say nothing, and hit a black mass, and that was going to be it. At least we got a match. Elias says he's fed up with how he's been treating. Really, I think that's WWE. That's him like shooting to WWE. He's fed up with how he's been treated. I'm over Elias, and I'm sure you are too. He says he's the best superstar to come through in a long time, and certainly the most hygienic to roll through this dirty swampland of Lafayette. The locals boo him, as he always does. Elias says he's constantly disrespected and constantly interrupted. He says he's a musical genius, and everyone is blessed to be in his presence. Elias says he's sure you were all excited of the new superstars, Ricochet, Aleister Black, Johnny Gargano, and Tommaso Ciampa, but that won't stop the truth, that he makes magic with his fingers every night. Elias says he will do a song tonight, but it's not for any of the fans, it's for himself, in hopes that he can slip into a deep consciousness so deep that he forgets any of the fans exist. More boos from the crowd. In order to do so, Elias needs the fans to silence their phones, hold their applause, and shut their mouth. I think they killed the walk with Elias thing because I don't think he's said that since he turned heel again. I think they killed the what does WWE stand for. So, if you expect to hear him say what does WWE stand for, I think they've killed that. Aleister Black comes out to to silence. He comes out to absolute silence. I didn't hear a single thing from the crowd. Enters the ring and says if you want a deep sleep of consciousness that Elias wants, he will get it because Black will make him fade to black. It was an okay match. Aleister Black versus Elias. Match ends as Black counters out of nowhere and delivers a black mask to the jaw of Elias. Black covers to the 1, 2, 3 in about 5 minutes. So the NXT superstars go 4-for-4 tonight, or 3-for-3 in matches tonight. After the match, Black stands tall as his arms raised, his music hits. We go to replays. We come back to Black taking a seat in Indian style, looking around the crowd. Our final match of the night is Ruby Riott versus Ronda Rousey. Again, why did this match not happen last night? Why did we get a 1 minute and 40 second squash match last night? I don't have a stopwatch on me, but I'm pretty sure this had a commercial break in it. Which, by the way, Jim Ross posted it on Twitter. Why do you go to commercial break during a title match? The disconnect starts right there. When you have a match that's for the title, Ronda Rousey looks like she is in trouble. Commercial break. Why? Why are we going to commercial for this? This makes no sense. This match was better. Ronda Rousey actually sold like she should have last night. Rousey keeps control until Riott drops her into the top rope in the corner. Riott goes to the second rope and drives back down on the Rousey. We did get a couple of We Want Becky chants. It wasn't that loud. Lafayette, again, you guys sucked as a crowd. Get better or take something to make yourself feel better. This crowd tonight was terrible. They're going to be in Atlanta next week. I guarantee you that crowd will be three times better than what we got tonight. Rousey avoids a Riott kick, entangled, and Riott comes back with a Riott kick, connecting this time for a 2 count. Liv Morgan, Riott looks to put Rousey away, but Rousey counters and nails a Gutman slam. Rousey drags Riott over to the corner and goes to the top. She swats Logan away and she jumps to the top on the apron. The same goes with Liv. Riott takes advantage and distracts and pulls Rousey down for a top rope mat, catching her into a second Riott cat. Rousey kicks out before the 3 count. Riott goes back to the top while Rousey is laid out near the corner. Riott leaps out for another senton, but Rousey moves out of the way. Rousey pulls Riott over the armbar, but Riott escapes. Rousey goes to the top and leaps and takes out Liv and Sarah Logan down to the outside. Riott is on her feet at the corner now. Riott grabs Rousey, but Rousey counters, launching Riott face first into the turnbuckles to daze her. Rousey takes advantage, drops Riott into the armbar for a submission win. Again, why do you make this? Does people not realize this makes Ruby Riott feel inferior to the likes of Charlotte, Bayley, and Sasha Banks? Well, at least Sasha Banks and Becky, when she is actually one of the best women on the roster. Why did this match have to be a 140-minute squash match last night? And tonight we got a good match. We got what we should have got last night. I don't understand it. Why? Oh, why did this match not happen last night? I don't know, but that is your Monday Night Raw review. This match was a complete, utter fail. They wanted to make it feel like it was out of left field, out of the box. Your crowd killed anything this thing should have had. This show tonight, I don't know. That is your Raw review. Find me on Twitter at TheFrance. Find me on twitch.tv/TheFrance08. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. I'll see you guys tomorrow for SmackDown Live, NXT on Wednesday, where we will see Johnny Gargano versus the Velveteen Dream. Who walks out North American Champion? I'm going with the Velveteen Dream, especially if this is going to be the call-up. I have no idea. We will have to wait and see, but I will see you guys tomorrow. Will we see NXT Superstars tomorrow night on SmackDown? We'll have to wait and see. Until then, my name is Franz, and I'll see you guys later.